Happy July, Ozark Electric Cooperative. Let me start by saying happy 4th of July. Enjoy that with your family and your friends. Be safe. Eat lots of great barbecue. Enjoy the fireworks. Celebrating our country. It is a great time. I love the 4th of July. I love Independence Day. I love what it stands for. And I get so excited when it gets closer by. So really enjoy yourselves during that time. I'd also like to mention that last month we had our after hours events. We were in Willard, Mount Vernon, and Clever, and we went and we opened that up, and we had close to 200 members through those 3 meetings. I think it was 30-something, 80-something, 80-something is how the attendance went. And I would like to also thank our employees that showed up to help support us during that time, help answer questions, and we're there to lend support, breaking and setting up things, and then breaking it down and helping us move from site to site. So thank you guys for helping us with that. Thank you, John Davis, for your department coordinating that and setting it up. We had some really good dialogue, got to hear from our members and their opinions and suggestions, things for us to contemplate, to consider on making changes going forward. And the board listened to that. We took notes. We've compiled that, made a list of those things, and we'll be discussing those throughout the next coming months. To see what we would do on that. And one of the other things that came up out of that was we talked about the co-op having debt, and we do have debt, but it's not an alarmist thing. It's something to watch and manage that we do every year. There's a key ratio trend analysis. We call them KRTAs, and that's a compilation of cooperatives data throughout the entire United States, throughout our region, which would be kind of the 4 states, and then also in Missouri. And so when you look at those things and you look at our debt calculation is, how much debt do we carry per member, because that's kind of the ratio and how you break it down. We're 28th in the state of 40, which means we're not at the top with debt bearing, and we're not kind of in the middle. We're on the bottom third of that. So we're in a healthy metric for that. It doesn't mean that we take it for granted. That's why we're trying to do what we do when we do rate increases, because that's how we fund the co-op. And if you eliminate and don't have any borrowing throughout the life of a co-op, you've done everything that you've done on rate collection, which would make the members part of what they buy into the co-op, fund everything. So throughout 87 years, which you've heard me say before, we've done a balance between borrowing and rate. And so that's what we're doing now. Many of you that have been on the system for a long time, you've gone through rate increases before. And so this isn't anything new as far as your bills going up, because that's what a rate increase is. It increases your bill, and you know that. Seldom is it celebrated. We get that, and then we have the new component for demand so that we can charge each individual member exactly what they are contributing to the overall demand for the system-wide Ozark Electric Cooperative that we end up paying to our power provider. So that again is a refresher and the philosophy on the cost recovery, why the demand is part of what we do. The other thing I'd like to catch us up, we have Cycle. Our Cycle Kids Scholarship opportunity for 2 kids from our system to go and represent Ozark Electric with the other kids throughout the state and the co-ops. Jefferson City is this month, so they'll go up. It's a really neat deal. They go through and they learn about the governance of Missouri. They split the kids up and fill the chambers of the Capitol, and they learn how to write a bill, draft a bill, debate a bill, bring it out of committee, and see if it will pass or not. They also get a lot of information on the co-ops, how they were formed, how they run, what makes them a nonprofit entity that's different than other utilities. So that's really neat. So be thinking of them as they go, and congratulations to you 2 guys that are going to go up there. Have a great time, and I know that you're going to represent us well. Let's see. The EPA, I want to give you an update on that. Many of you have helped support through what John has put out in the member services on our website, through other links, things we do on Facebook, for you to go and let our legislators know that we really would like for the EPA to reverse their final rule on what they're trying to do with closing down, fossil fuel generation, and what that means if that occurs by 2032, the stressors that puts on the entire grid, and most specifically for us, right here in Southwest Missouri. So Congress and members of Congress have heard you, have listened to all, because this is an effort that all co-ops across the country are endeavoring to do. Not only do we have multiple states and multiple power providers that are formally suing the EPA over this, now we have legislators that are introducing a resolution to try and roll back the decision and realign things. Take a look at it. Let's come up for air. Let's slow down. Let's take a look at what it really will take for us to get to a renewable future, but still provide reliability for Americans and for Missourians. And so we're hoping that in the next couple of weeks we'll hear something from Congress on what's going to happen there. The lawsuit, we're hoping that in the fall we'll have a word on whether or not they can execute a stay, which means just press pause, just hang out. Let's not go forward, because we argue that the EPA has overstepped its bounds to do this and not consider all the ramifications that it would make on the grid and to folks that need reliability to be a big part of their life. And so that's an update on that. I'd also like to, at this time, send out a thank you to a lot of our members that have emailed or texted or sent cards or letters or have talked to our employees or myself or our directors out in the community or made those deliveries to our homes, talking to us about, hey, listen, we know there's a lot of pressure right now across the board because of the pressures that folks feel for the economy, inflation, taking care of their homes and doing what they have to. And the dollar just doesn't go as far as it used to. And so when you engage in doing a rate increase and a billing determinant that's going to raise what people do in the cost to have electricity, it's a tough thing to do. It's been trying, but like many of you know, and like a lot of us know here, we've been through that before. Every time there is a rate increase, there is sentiment that just does not like it, because not everyone is affected the exact same way, because not everybody has the same home, not everybody has the same technology and appliances in that home, or members of the family. It's all different, and so it hits differently across the board. So we aim for that median demographic of what's the average usage. Try to remove names and situations and everything that's going on and dive into the 1,200 kilowatt hours a month is our system average. 10 kW is the system average on demand, and we target that for what we're going to do and know that it's going to affect everybody on the system differently. Okay, so we are aware of that. Your directors are aware of that. We know that is something that is a challenge. We know it's the right thing to do, though. When it is time to do a rate increase, we have to introduce that because the reliability of us being around and doing what we do depends on that. Okay, so that's there. So thank you so much for being supportive, for telling us to hang in there, telling us that, you know what, you're not a big fan of it, but you understand and you needed to do it. We have annual meeting coming up at the end of the year, or at the end of the month, at the end of July. And so it's over at the Mount Vernon High School campus. Come join us there. It's important that as we come together at an annual meeting, and my report and Steve Stone, our president's report, it's probably going to deal with the nation's grid. If I was telling you where I'm coming from right now, if I had to give a speech to you, it's going to be on what's driving concerns for us going forward. What's happening between now and 2028 and the closures of a lot of coal plants. What's going to happen between now and 2032 with energy, and how it's made, how it gets delivered to us, and how we have to pay for it, and how are we going to pass that along to our members in a way that is at a pace that's understandable and something that's attainable. Those challenges are going to be there. It's going to be a slow march. It's going to be a lot of studying, a lot of looking at different models, taking suggestions we got from after hour stuff, twisting that and pushing it into models to see how it spits out results, and then go from there on making decisions, because there's more rate decisions to make. Whoever's in the boardroom is going to make decisions in the next 6 years, 4 years, whatever, that's going to impact members. It just is. And so I'm glad that we have the experience that we have in our boardroom right now. I think experience going forward is going to be important. And so I hope you come out. I hope you enjoy the day. Come and exercise your right to vote and select what you'd like to have done to represent you going forward. And I'll just look forward to seeing you there, because I'll see a lot of you that I've talked to over the last several months and over my entire career. And so I always look forward to annual meeting and getting to touch base with you. All right, so we'll see you then. Thank you.